Tiny bunny. New game. Spooky. It's got really good reviews on Steam, so best not be disappointed. The wind clawed at my window all night long. So, okay, so what are these options? Back, I guess? What is this? What? Oh, backlog. An endless song weaved from all sorts of voices. Sure. Wait, I don't want this. Okay. The wind clawed at my window all night long. It wandered the fields and howled like a hungry beast. An endless song, weaved from all sorts of voices, shrill, gentle, sneery, twined in the air. They were shouting and laughing, and arguing about something. Hello? Something was running through the snow while casting long shadows that would occasionally creep close to my bed. Our house had a mind of its own, the creaky old mind of a building that had seen a lot in its days and was seemingly trying to share its wisdom with the inhabitants. The lonely house faced the forest, and the dark green thicket gazed back with its hollow eyes, rustling, whistling, swaying back and forth. One could come out and stand at the edge of the forest to reassure themselves. There was nobody behind the crooked trees. Funny, fuzzy silhouettes swaying in the wind couldn't possibly do any harm. Cap. It's just a play of light and shadow. Let me fix my camera. Okay. This way it's not a... Okay, perfect. Just a play of light and shadow. Just a play. I'm gonna make it bigger though. Okay. Shit, I think I missed something. Just a play. I knew it was my imagination. I was already 12 after all. Alright, so we're a 12-year-old. Interesting. Still. Okay, I don't think that key works.
Hey, put away your book. How many times have I told you not to read at the table? It's bad for your health. Look how slouched you are.
Voice acting 101. Hide. I didn't protest and put the book about Conan the Barbarian aside. I was stuck on a line I couldn't understand after reading it 3 times anyway. Oya had already finished her breakfast and was munching on some cookies. She was so enthusiastic she almost looked like your typical girl from commercials.
You're not going anywhere until you finish all of it.
I, on the other hand, was still trying to drill a hole in the plate with my eyes, as if it would make the porridge disappear. Hazy anxiousness welled up inside, all because of the previous sleepless night, the black forest around our house, and the gloomy wind. The longer I waited, the colder the lumpy white substance became. It looked like a jellyfish from the Cousteau Odyssey. I love that show. I wonder how horrifying the bottom of the ocean is, or how cold the black forest is at night. The spoon fell out of my hand. Mom showered me with a cold glare from her green eyes.
What did I just say? I'll get it.
I had 10 seconds to catch my breath before battling the nasty porridge once again. Ugh. I felt around for the spoon. What is this carved on the other side of the table? Karina. Ah, so that's how you pronounce that in Russian. Ha! That's my mom's name. I guess she carved it out with something pointy when she was little. She sure was a rascal, damaging the furniture like that. She would scold me for a week if I did something similar, though. Should I remind her about it? No, she's been in a bit of a bad mood lately. I imagine her being my age, sitting under this table. I wonder, was Mom afraid of the dark back then? Or the sounds coming from the attic? Or the thick forest? Ooh, that forest thick AF. Who is you? I imagine my grandma coming into my little mom's room, sitting at the edge of her bed, where Oya sleeps nowadays, and saying this in her soft, smooth voice. Leaked. Taiga is a special
Taiga is a special place, little girl. It's watching you closely, sniffing you out. Trying to discern what kind of beast you are. If you're a good sort, it won't abandon you in times of trouble. But if you're a bad apple, it'll grab you by the side and drag you under the ground. And that would be it.
Grandma was caring. She never fought with anybody, never yelled, never swore. Those were the times without the maddening screams until late at night, without smashed dishes and mutual accusations. Our parents used to love each other back then. I remember listening in on one of her conversations by chance. They were talking about Grandma getting prepared for her funeral. She had already bought a casket, and she called it her cute funeral box. It waited for its time in the closet, patiently. It was black, upholstered with meat-colored material on the inside. I saw it when my grandma was getting buried. Pepe hands. The house didn't change since the time she was alive. Only all of the photos were gone. Creepy music. Glass-covered pictures with gray faces of my ancestors. They all had a dead but watchful look in their eyes. I crawled out from underneath the table. Oya was done with her cookies and was looking at my share like a sly woodland critter. I turned my gaze toward the frosted window. There were a lot of dark pines outside, but they didn't grab my attention. The pattern of frost formed a picture on the glass. Oya, look, it's a fox. Where? It looked almost like those optical illusion thingies they put on the back of student notebooks. A mixture of lines at first glance, but if you blur your vision a little bit and look under a certain angle. I'm liking the art in this game. Not outside, on the window. Wait, that's me, right? Or is that... Fuck, I don't know. Look, here's the nose, and here's...
Hey, eat up.
I forget what voice I did for Mom. It was fucking stupid.
Yes, just a moment. I don't see anything. Hurry up, there's not much left.
Something like that.
There it is. But it still doesn't look like one.
And I'm telling you it does.
Yeah,
It does.
Stop it. These kids, I swear.
It keeps changing. I'll figure out a voice. I'll figure out voices along the way. Now I couldn't see the fox either. It disappeared, went away. Only the frosty patterns, similar to stretched out nettle leaves, kept creeping up the glass. My dad entered the kitchen with long, measured steps. I want to have a beard like his when I grow up. Same dude. Mom would always ask jokingly,
Come on, shave it off. It stings.
this was so long ago. Nowadays, rumbling doors and witty comebacks were an everyday occurrence. Oya always covers her ears whenever she hears something like, what's the point of all this, through the wall. It's all for your sake, Dad. Wait, I need to do a really deep voice for Dad. It's all for your sake, Dad would reply. For the sake of our family. I always caught every sound in fear of hearing the most dreaded, the deadliest word that started with the D. Dick. Devo. Devo. I don't even want to finish it. TBH. Okay, there. Now I can see my my audio, and it seems fine. It was scary to imagine that me and my little sister could be torn apart and taken into two different families.
Anyway, your fax is nothing. I have an owl on my window.
You and your owl talk again.
You said you believed me just yesterday.
Have anybody seen my car keys? I remember leaving them on the windowsill.
Right. Maybe you did, and maybe not. You're a grown man, a father of two, and still.
Karina, please stop. Just let me get ready in peace.
Your keys are in the basket. You're that phone, you fucking idiot. Piece of shit.
Well, thank you very much. Anton, stop making a martyr out of yourself and finish eating already.
An owl.
There was no owl.
How could he? But there was one. And a giant glowing eyes.
Is my cam fucking up the whole scene? Yeah, it is. Boom. Saved. Last year you had Bye-Bye in your closet, and now this owl?
But I saw it.
Oya shifted her gaze back and forth from Dad to Mom to me, but couldn't find any support. Have you thought about befriending it? You know, like feeding it with imaginary mice? Don't bully our girl. She's just afraid to sleep alone because she's lit.
She's just afraid to say no.
Oya pouted her lips in rebellion and rushed into the hallway. The staircase that led to the second floor creaked. Mom gave Dad a strict look. Oh, that look in her eyes. It's so uncomfortable to be pinned under it. Oof. Dad just snorted in reply and left, ringing with the keys he just found. A minute had passed, and the theme song from The Little Mermaid echoed through the house. How was that beautiful? Was that beautiful, chat? Yeah, I have to reposition now. Gotta make this a perfect stream. The first 10 minutes of my streams are always fucking scuffed. Like, I wish I could just cut it out. It was stored on incredibly worn out cassette tape, which Dad already had to glue together once. It's so easy to fix objects by gluing them back together, for example. But how do you fix a relationship? Asking the deep questions here. Mom moved to the living room, and I was left alone, anxiously stealing glances at the window. Oya had trouble sleeping ever since we moved to this house. She would toss and turn or curl up into a ball under her blanket. Sometimes she would jump in the middle of the night and turn on the VCR. Cartoons helped to take her mind off all the troubles we had with the move and our parents. What the fuck? Okay. I think I'm gonna hide these. I'm gonna hide these goals. Yeah. She became obsessed with it. Wait. Fuck. I swear, if I get a dono or a fall, it's gonna scare the shit out of me. Bait. Oya refused to sleep alone and didn't believe that the owl was just one of her nightmares. Monka W. After tonight, I was unsure what to make of my sister's words, what to think of it myself. Can nightmares be infectious? Is coronavirus a nightmare? The real question's here. Well, just last night I couldn't get a wink of sleep and ended up thinking of what to expect in my new school. There were a couple of days left before the beginning of a new term. My imagination drew long. Twisting holidays that led to a classroom full of kids. But all the students behind their desks were simply dark figures cut out using a template. Circular holes gaped in the middle of their faces, and pairs of eyes blinked inside those holes. It was as if some completely different creatures were looking at me from behind the flat black silhouettes. Their cruel glares, filled with icy sneers, made me shiver from head to toe. Will I survive here? Won't they gang up on me and beat me down, stomp on me with their bloodied shoes? The damned school can burn for all I care. Who are you,
Butterscotch?
It's such a shitty impression. I just wished for anything to happen to it. It doesn't really matter what. I don't want to go there that badly. I don't want to see people who are just itching to smack me on the head, trip me up, think of a new offensive name for me worse than the previous one. Felt like the glasses I wore made me an outsider, some sort of monster. Gaze slid across the drawings hanging on the walls. I couldn't consider myself a great artist, but Oya begged me to hang them. Drawing was the only thing that made me happy as of late. It's like streaming. Kidding. Not really. The small circle of friends I had also enjoyed my paintings, and they promised to call me from time to time. Sometimes I imagine Mom picking up the phone and saying in a cold voice,
"You've got the wrong number, bitch."
Or,
Anton is not around.
what are these noises? I don't like it.
Anton is not around.
I imagine my future classmates lying in their beds just like me, listening to the howls of invisible werewolves outside their windows. Maybe new classmates will like me after all? But who would ever like a boy with thick glasses? Who gives a shit if you have thick old glasses? Thick AF is, thick thighs save lives, and, the glasses might be different, but thick rims, thick frames save your games if you can't see without them. Like, come on. Glasses are considered hip and cool nowadays, for some people at least. I mean, I don't wear my glasses, but that's purely on a hygienic sort of standpoint. I mean, my dad used to wear glasses when he was little, and now he's married to the most beautiful woman on the planet, my mom. Kona W? What the fuck? The house creaked, pressed by the wind. That's some Alabama shit right there. The condo. I'm not yawning. This game's good so far. The condo we used to live in, a 9-foot floor concrete building. It just got really quiet, so it's probably gonna jump scare me. The condo we used to live in, a 9-floor concrete building. Corona. I need some water. Buzzed with the neighbor's drill, mumbled with the TV set from behind the wall, cried like a baby from the big family next door. Our current house, though I can't really call it new, was completely different. It was silent and easy going during the day, its shadows lay dormant in the corners, on the closet cobwebs, and under the stairs. But they all woke up during the night. Incoming jump scare. Something was watching me from every corner, almost as if the old photos of my deceased family, with their ashen eyes, were hanging on the walls in place of my drawings. The floor was squeaking, rusty drains were moaning, the attic was occupied by noisy drafts. One could think the house was performing some sort of demonic melody. And then I realized I was in fact hearing music. It was already playing for a good while. Somewhere at the edge of my perception, I could hear a flute. Oh, that's the flute. It was mixing with the sound of the wind, of creaking old house, and my thoughts too. This is beautiful. I stood up and rushed to the window. I wanted to reassure myself that this music was nothing more than a product of my imagination. It's not like someone is playing it there amidst the cold, snowy night, right? Oh no. Jump scare. Okay, you're not missing anything, chat. My cam's fine. Something was dancing in the field. Black silhouettes I could barely make out, with the dark forest as their backdrop. I like this scene better. It's less scary. I'm not saying it's bad before. It's just not as... It's scarier, which is what the whole game's for, so it's good. They jumped around, basked in moonlight, jumped into piles of snow, rolled around, and crawled on all fours. Stories about wolves playing under the moon came to mind, but these were clearly not wolves. They stood upright at times, circled around holding hands and whipping up snow, disappearing into the shadows for a brief moment and then coming back. Something bizarre was going on. Shadows dancing in the starless abyss made my imagination go wild, making me anxious at the same time. Suddenly the music had stopped, jump scare incoming. The dancing shadows froze in place, and I could swear pierced me with their eyes. One of the silhouettes immediately parted from the bizarre shadow corner and sprinted across a field with giant leaps. And this is the jump scare. Stop it. No jump scares. Don't like it. Glided on squeaky snow without leaving any prints until it was devoured by the pitch black shadow of my house, which became darker and thicker. My heart was jumping around like the bird inside a cage. Goosebumps. I shut the curtains with a swift motion and stepped back toward the bed. They saw me. A freezing torrent of fear washed over me. I stood in the middle of a perfectly dark room and listened to some unwanted guest move and scrape around looking for an entrance. The sound moved to the right, then circled around the house. Now my guest should be at the front door. I jumped in the bed and covered myself with a blanket as if it could protect me. Same, dude. We've all been there. The shackles of fear locked my muscles. I remembered the funeral, my grandma lying there, hands crossed on her chest, her facial features sharp like that of a tin doll. Ants running up and down the legs of chairs that held my grandma's casket. I imagined those little creatures climbing up her head and pulling up her eyelids with their tiny legs. Then her wrinkly eyeballs would once again move inside their sockets and she'd be able to see her grandchildren. What the fuck? I was chanting the spell she taught me throughout the whole procedure. And now, lying under the blanket and listening to squeaks and howls, I was repeating the same words. On the island of Buyan, underneath the blemished sun, in the sea of color blue, stands a cabin made of wood. I thought that was gonna rhyme, so I'm a little disappointed, not gonna lie. There lay hard and ashen hair for the spawn of Devil's Lair, to feast and always leave alone God's faithful servant named Antone. Evil leave this house must. You know, I was just gonna say that the English in this game was really good. Also, I don't think you guys can see me. Hold on, let me just open like a notepad or some shit. Just so that there's some light. Okay. Evil leave this house must. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Bizarre sounds had disappeared. Hold on. I want this perfect. The lighting needs to be absolutely perfect. Alright, that's probably fine. I cautiously peeked out from under the blanket and saw curtains waving around like a hangman. And then the night doused me with a new portion of boiling terror. The sound scratched at my eardrums. In reality, something or someone were scratching at the front door, hurriedly crawling at the wood, demanding to be let in. The door was shut. Dad had become very cautious recently, so he installed a sturdy lock. I remember him staring at the forest intently as if he was looking for someone. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. I hugged my knees, placing my chin between them, and drilled the door with my eyes. It was so flimsy and weak before the mind of darkness. And then... jump scare. The doorknob twitched slightly. Then it turned halfway, once, twice, as if the person who tried to enter had no hands. The doorknob tilted once more, and then... started clicking violently. My jaw cramped from fear, my wet fingers felt to make it. There were creaks to open. The wind taught me moaning inside the train. Now, you'll see. The door was wide open. The darkness writhed inside the carnivorous mouth of a doorway. Tony. It was as if the night itself was calling out to me, flapped its back wings, and squeaking with rusty hinges. I was trembling and snared by the web of darkness that hung in the corners of my room, waiting for the one who weaved it to come out of the gaping black hole. Kachi Hyper! Tony. My abdomen tightened and my chest rose up, ready to exhale a desperate scream. But before I was able to do anything, the darkness asked me, Tony, are you asleep? What? Debated by the fucking Oya. I almost screamed from relief. Oh yeah, I'm not sleeping. Did something happen? Oya frowned and stuck out her lower lip. A clear sign that she was about to cry.
It's Dell again, staring at me. Shoo her away, Tony, please. I'm so scared.
The fear that was tormenting me just a minute ago crawled away and hid somewhere in my stomach. I needed to calm Oya down. It was just a dream, silly. Don't be scared. Dreams don't bite. Nobody's going to harm you. Just stop being scared. Forehead. Oya sobbed. She was trying her best to believe me. But was I sure myself? I have an idea. Let's go to your room and watch the video. Sleeping Beauty, for example. You like that cartoon, don't you?
Why does a Sleeping Beauty have a pointy eye of a scary bug?
That question took me by surprise.
Alright, let's watch Cinderella.
Oh wait, that's... Alright, let's watch Cinderella. My thoughts became tangled, fuzzy. What was that? What studied me with its eyes while dancing feverishly under the moon? The darkness was clinging to the window, and it couldn't be fooled by Grandma's old chants. It couldn't be satisfied with a feast of lard and long ashen hair.
Tony, are you coming?
Yes, just a moment. Game! You fuckers! This game just came out and it doesn't have that many reviews, so there's a good chance. Oh, what the fuck? There's a good chance one of these devs could watch this. So if you're watching, fuck you. Fuck you, devs. God, fuck. And this was all in his head. God damn it. You fucking debated me so hard. Alright. These are real reactions, by the way. I don't fake shit. I don't need to. That's why I didn't want to laugh at Oya and her owl in the morning. Yeah, what's up? I'm not fucking stupid. Who could be visiting us here in the middle of nowhere? We don't know anyone around here. Why did someone just... Okay, never mind. So persistent. Wait. So persistent. I felt extremely unsettled just from a silly thought that our morning guest could have come from the woods. I don't know why it's so laggy. My mind was urging me to hide. In the closet, under the table, behind the curtains, where all always hides.
Tani, come here.
I felt like the kettlebells were tied to my feet, but still dragged them toward the hallway. A couple of policemen towered over me in the doorway. What the fuck? They smelled like frost and worry. My mom always winced and grumbled the moment she saw patrol cars. Worse than bandits. At the moment, though, she looked somewhat confused. Hello? Senior officer, who wore a grim expression, nodded.
A boy had gone missing yesterday. His name's Vova. Look at this place. Have you seen it?
The policeman held out a photograph to me. Who? There was a ginger boy around the age of elementary school. Pictured with a wall carpet as the backdrop. He had a striped cat in his hands and wore a wide smile. No, I haven't. Are you sure? Look closely. Where would I see him? I don't know anyone around here. Barely this house. Well, maybe you've seen him from the window?
That's right. Your windows look straight at the forest, don't they?
The window. Vietnam flashbacks. No, I haven't seen anything. I see. He sounded tired, but his eyes... His stare, long and heavy, was full of suspicion. I squirmed unwittingly under the weight of guilt, which his giant shadow cast over me. The policeman finally tore his eyes from me and glanced over the hallway, the stairway, and the cracks in the ceiling, which I haven't noticed before for some reason. How do you like your new place, by the way? Getting used to it?
Bit by bit. It's just our little daughter misses the city a lot.
This is the city, huh? Have the locals been treating you well?
Yes, everything is alright, thank you.
The policeman pierced through me one more time with his gray eyes. My head started spinning. Can I help you somehow? I asked that in a shaky voice to look like a polite boy and to end this unpleasant conversation sooner. Now that I think about it, you look just like one of my nephews, little fella. He's a witty boy around your age, wears the same type of goggles, haha. Always engrossed in reading those mystery novels. Told me he wants to enroll in police school when his family visited this summer. Wanted to help other people just like me, see? I felt uncomfortable, as if a distant relative and not a police officer stood before me. You know what? Little boys like you should stay at home, steer away from trouble. The times have changed so much. Mom interjected in a cold voice.
You don't say.
Ah, well then. What grade are you in, Tony boy? 6. Have you made any friends here so far? Not yet. I'll be going to school for the first time after the break. If this isn't modern times, you're not going back to school anytime soon. Then I'll leave you my number, just in case. Call me if you have any new info. The policemen were gone along with their shadows, the smell of cheap cologne and the photo of a smiling boy. His face still stood before my eyes. I wonder what it was like for him, being all alone there. For some reason, I thought of the forest swaying in the wind. What did his poor parents feel? And what would my parents do if I'd gone missing? Would they cry and thrash around hysterically? Or would they accuse each other, like they always do, and forget about me eventually? Mom, this Vova, did he go missing in our forest? Seems like it. Poor child. I looked out the window at the road. Fucking game's gonna jump scare me. The police UAZ drove off toward the village. The officer's nephew came to mind when I was splitting off old paint from the windowsill. Who the fuck is texting me during a goddamn stream? I remembered all the teenage mystery novels from the Black Kitty series I've read this summer. Your average boys and girls investigated all sorts of mysteries there. We looked for clues, spied on suspicious people, and after a set of amazing adventures, bam, solved any complicated case. They became local celebrities and must have made their parents pretty proud. I noticed a trail of policemen's footprints that led to the forest, and then it clicked in my head. Why don't I start an investigation of my own? Oh, no, dude. Maybe I'll find that lost boy, and I'll get a reward. Oya will be so happy. This is not gonna end well. Everyone knows how horror shit goes. And not only Oya, Mom and Dad too, yep. Maybe they'll even forget about the corals for a while. Maybe I'll even save us from the D word. Dick. I fantasized about buying Oya a Tamagotchi and getting a cassette player and a bunch of tapes for myself. So this is 90s? And a whole box of Kinder Surprise. When was the last time our parents bought us any toys? Last autumn, I think. My dad had just lost his job at the time. There's that annoying song about it. I had little to no idea what was the accountant's job like. They count money, I think. Neighbors used to envy us. But nowadays, Mom and Dad barely have money to afford sweets. And Dad would always divide a single chocolate bar between me and Oya. Pepe hands. Sometimes I gave her my share too. No matter how much I wanted to eat sweets, she was still just a pipsqueak. I couldn't wait to go out looking for clues. I'm going outside.
Yeah, right. You want the police to go around with your photograph next? The force is so thick. Oh, it's just making me lose. It's already November and I'm fucking lost from this forest. So fucking thick. What if the boys got snapped up by wild animals? Or something even worse? Even worse, echoed throughout the hallway. I won't go far. I'll stay away from the forest. Cap. Did you hear what I said, or should I repeat myself? Better go pack your school bag, or play with Oya.
Holy fucking shit. My cat Shadow just opened the door. God damn it. That scared the shit out of me. Hold on.
Damn it, Shadow.
Sound of splashing water came from the kitchen. Need to get in the perfect position. Alright. It meant that the argument was over and Mom had the last word. Oh god, decisions. I'm gonna open this. This might have something useful. The dark, stuffy closet. Mom says it smells like mice, but how would she know their smell? She hates when I stick my nose in there. She's afraid I'll cut myself on the freshly sharpened axe. And Oya can't even be lured close to it. She thinks Bye-Bye is living there. I tried to help fight her fears once. I opened the door and turned on a dim lamp so she would see there was nothing but cobwebs, Dad's tools, and scratch walls. She still didn't believe me. And I like to hide in the closet. Kappa pride. And listen to Oya count outside. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Better hide from me. And then drag her feet on the creaking floorboards, hoping that she wouldn't need to look for me in the cramped monster's den. Grandma kept ice cream for me and Oya there, but now I could only see meat bits or soup and clumped together pelmeni. I grew to hate them already. Is that some Russian shit? I'm sure it is. I mean, Oya seems like a very Russian name. To front yard. Anton, I hope you make a single step out the door. So where the fuck am I supposed to go? Parents prohibit me from making long distance calls, but from time to time I really want to hear my old friends. Sometimes I would pick up the phone, listen to the low hum of the Zoomer. The Zoomer. Any Zoomers in chat? And the distant cracking, imagining the wind howling and the ice-leaden chords. This cross had seen so many people come and go in this house. It was as black as if it absorbed all the human sin from the long years it was hanging under the ceiling. After Grandma died, Mom was going to take it off and hang a horseshoe in its place as a lucky charm, but she cut herself with the cross's sharp corner and almost fell from the stepladder. Dad called it a sign from above and ordered the cross to be left alone in its rightful place. Mom's peg top, a family, what she used to peg Dad with. My mom played with it when she was little, pegging. Oh, never mind. And then she gifted it to me. Oya was next in the succession line. The toy belonged to her now. Oh God, I just made that real weird. She stared at the dancing spindle as if it could show her something, a fairy tale, or maybe even our future. Now, even my little sister was a bit too old for the squeaky peg top. My mind is so rotten. Get your ass out of the closet immediately, or I'll fuck it with my peg top. Sight of an old ocean freezer was stricken with my childish drawings, Mom's recipes, and all kinds of stickers from bubblegum to dinosaurs that Oya likes so much. Among that still life picture hung a piece of ruled paper with the phone number of the police officer who visited us. First Lieutenant Tikhonov, I read inside my mind, looking at the officer's sprawling handwriting. The scrap of paper was held by two pieces of broken iron from the Soviet time. Those pieces just barely covered up the numbers as if to taunt me. I leaned forward to unveil the mystery and take the piece to a safer place where it would wait for its time, when I would finally find Bova and be the first to call the police with the happy news. Anton. Mom's reproachful eyes stared at me. What do you need it for? Hands off, you'll lose it. Anger at my mom was the last thing I wanted, so I lowered my hand. Took a peek at Mom's crossword. She'd get very angry when someone gave her it, so me and Dad faked knowing the answer and being about to reveal it all the time. I smiled at that fleeting thought. Vertical, 9 letters. The name of the Philistine deity that protected them from viper bites and had a nickname, the Lord of Flies. Second letter is E. I don't fucking know. Anyone in chat know? Emircom of Russia has declared a state of emergency due to adverse weather conditions and coronavirus. Wait. According to the weather forecast, the cyclone is moving towards the region. Expect heavy snowfall, blizzards, and snowdrifts on the road. Keep your eyes open and take care of yourself. The decrepit and stain-colored calendar was once my favorite form of entertainment in Grandma's house. I remembered waking up and running to the kitchen so I could tear off yesterday's leaf first thing in the morning. Stop! As if the coming day would get lost in the taiga forest without my help. One day closer to New Year's, one day closer to Grandma's funeral. I haven't touched this calendar for years now. Since the time they started writing dark and spooky death chants that only made me gloomy instead of funny proverbs and superstitions, to be exact. I grabbed the dusty calendar leaf with caution and tore it off of it. Sadly, the spooky descriptions of my childhood were still further. 7 horses carry the log. If 7 can't carry, bring the 8th from a fairy. They will take it away and never come back. This is the fate the log cannot escape. I crumpled the gray leaf and threw it into the waste bin, hoping to get rid of the anxiousness that washed over me. It was spreading inside like an ink stain on blotting paper. It was difficult to light them on, but there's no other way for me to run away from it. Mom, something's wrong with the TV. The picture is dim and there's stripes all over the screen. Mom's face became dim. You're killing me here. So, have you had enough of shooting those stupid ducks now? Told you the kinescope would go dim because of your console. Where will we find a TV technician in this hole, huh? Maybe it's just the settings. Please go see for yourself. Strange, it worked fine in the morning. Maybe the snowfall caused it? Mom ripped her hands clean on the apron and went to Oya's room. Jebaited! Get fucked, idiot. Alright, death incoming. I opened the front gate and went into the field. Carefully, so Mom wouldn't see me from the window. When I crossed half of the distance toward the forest, the snow piles became as high as my knees. And as high as me. Oh, I remember my nightly fears. I saw those silhouettes around here. They were jumping around holding hands. That hypnotizing music started playing in my head all on the sun. In the light of day, those distant figures felt like a simple dream. The sun turned my nightmares, oh boy, it's getting spooky, isn't it, into ash, but after the aftertaste was still there. Distant ringing in my ears, distorted shadows crawling on the snow alongside me, and barely audible whisper in my head, blurry and almost kind. Everything was silent, so silent I felt the world was totally empty. No ground, no sky, no parents, no Oya. The time reached its limits, a one-way trip that ended at the forest's piney stockade. Sometimes silence was much scarier than any scream. Sure, dude. Our parents would scream at each other while arguing, and both me and Oya turned to stone, listening to them. But then always came the ringing silence. Alright. Most of this game has pretty good English, but this is bad. It should be an R, not a T. So like the R in apartment right before this T. Put it right there. Our apartment became numb, and a couple of days before we departed. It was hard to remember the last time Mom and Dad joked around, laughing, or spent time together. Almost like all of it was in a previous life. It's bad, man. When they kissed with Oya present, she always frowned and snorted in a funny way. But now they never do it. But one day it all changed. Something important had left our home, and something scary filled the remaining void. It was as if a fire broke up, and our parents were hurriedly packing our belongings, trying to save themselves and us. From who, though? From the people with dead cold eyes who sometimes visited us in our previous home? The eyes that only saw balls of worms on the black ground and everything. And somewhere far away, a siren was going off, trying to warn us of the coming menace. I shuddered, chasing my delusions, and looked around. There were only me and this white field and the wind that was whipping up icy dust and belts of powdered snow. Jesus Christ, why was that so loud? Yikes. Let me just mute my notifications, goddamn. I squinted from the sun and turned my eyes to the sunless forest. It looked especially dark in contrast with the blinding whiteness. Knobby tree roots slithered under the snow like fat snakes. Rotten leaves and coniferous needles froze into the ice. Dry, prickly branches intertwined, bringing up uncomfortable thoughts about fences. Were they protecting the forest, or were they keeping something from breaking out? Some object was hanging from one of the pointy branches. I tried to get closer, drowning in snow, and when I almost got to the edge of the forest, I saw a knitted mitten. It looked like a wounded bird among the hungering semi-dark. Should I take it to the police? Their senior officer looked gloomy, but he still reminded me of Captain Casanova from my favorite TV show called The Streets of Broken Lights. Let me just move this a little. He was always so anxious, with a tired look in his eye, but still brave and strong. Will this mitten help them find the lost boy? Bova! I heard a distant shout. Looked like it came from the river. Bova! As if the trees were calling out to someone. Bova! It sounded closer to me. Someone was standing there behind the trees, hiding. Bova! Ah, something. Something wasn't settling about that figure. Its stillness, how it was bent unnaturally toward the ground. Its blackness. There's no one there, just branches and roots. It's all just my imagination, Kappa. A nearby bird flapped its wings loudly. Game? The shadow split from the tree and disappeared from my sight. I looked away for just a moment, but when I turned my gaze back to the same place, it was gone. So it was my imagination, after all. Silence reignited for a painfully long time. Oh boy. Yikes. My muscles were tightly sprung, my heart was beating somewhere in my throat. Any noise, any little movement, any small whisper from the thicket, and I'd sprint. But nothing of the sort happened. I looked at the mitten once more. Fuck it, dude, let's take it. Oh shit. I decided to take the lonely mitten from the branch. Okay, dead incoming. Bova. Dead incoming. The shout rumbled across the field and dissolved into the distance. No echo, no hope for a reply. Yikes. Step toward the bristly trees. Let me just minimize my cam as much as possible. Oh god, it's in bud. Hold over the branch cracking and then random. All too heavy. What? I scoot out without blinking something dark filled, pouring a tiny stream between the mitten and the snow. Steam rose from the snow pile. Jump scare incoming. Blood. I froze in place, studying my palms in disgust. Red. The sound of cracking branches invaded the silence. I didn't have to think twice before running away. Someone was chasing me from the darkness, breaking pine branches, closing the distance with giant leaps. Snow was slowing me down. Crazy thoughts filled my mind. I'll get caught. They'll get me. I'll get dragged into the thicket. I'll be gone forever. But there was one more voice, probably one of reason. It gave me strength, spurred me on. You can do it. Don't stop. I heard an animal roar behind me. It was so loud my ears went numb. It felt like the sound had come from a pack of hungry beasts rather than a single one. Their nostrils sucked in the freezing air. They sensed my fear. Two giant wings flapped above my head. An enormous shadow flew over the clearing. A hoot, a wheeze. The roars were coming from all directions now. From the dried up raspberry bush, from twisted pines, from under the windfall. Hurry, run, don't look back. I felt like I was inside of a nightmare. The snowy clearing became vicious like quicksand. I was stuck in place. I pulled my leg from a mushy trap just to be caught in a new one, even deeper than before. I continued to drown, sinking deeper and deeper with every desperate push. Was the snow ever this sticky? I screamed in horror after lazy. This wasn't snow. Someone in the snowfall was clutching my plants. I gathered all my strength and rushed forward. The pressure on my legs was gone. My boots slipped out the hole, and my soles were on a hard surface again. I reached a clear in the path with one jump, and from there ran to my house. Its gloomy facade didn't look threatening now. The house was in my line of defense from the shadows that flapped their wings and creatures that were hidden under the snow. I tripped over the doorstep and smashed into the door. In all my hurry, I still managed to notice the claw marks, as if a dog was striking the wood with its paws, demanding to be let in so it could escape the cold. I didn't notice these marks when I was leaving. A heartbeat in my ears was so much louder than my surroundings. I couldn't hear whether someone was following me or not. What if they were already in our front yard and Mom had locked the door? Drowning in fear, I pulled the door on and it obediently gave away. I rolled into the hallway and shut the door behind me. Porch planks creaked as my pursuers ascended the stairs. My fingers slipped off the lock and I couldn't click it into place. I gritted my teeth and pulled hard on the iron knob, whipping it between the boards. I stared blankly at the door. Someone was standing on the other side of the pitiful, flimsy barrier that was probably less useful than blankets. Wheezing breath reached into the house and crashed at me in waves. It smelled of pine and sweat. Mom peeked out of the kitchen and chastised me with the same frigid voice she always used when talking to Dad. What exactly didn't you understand when I told you to never slam the door? I didn't mean to. I snuck a glance at the door. The smell was gone, and the breath was too. If there was someone in the first place, of course. Here, mere 5 meters away from my mom, my fear was slowly weakening, melting like snow in spring. And with it, the last bit of strength I had left my body to. My legs gave away. I propped myself up against the wall so I wouldn't fall over. Mom's expression had changed immediately. The cold mask of strictness and detachment was gone. Mom looked the same as before all those quarrels. She finally saw my condition, my wet pants plastered with snow. Where have you been? What did I tell you, huh? I told you to stay home. Am I nothing to you too? I got afraid she would cry. I reached out to her like when I was very little and I wanted her to cuddle me. But Mom regained her composure fast and put on her usual face. Her eyes shined like steel. Her voice rang out. Your dad can't find his cigarettes. Be honest, did you snatch them? Were you smoking in secret? There was something chasing me. I thought... I started as soon as I started explaining myself. Tears welled in my eyes. Mom leaned toward me and sniffed my clothes like a bee's, searching for the smell of tobacco. She then squinted her eyes at the suspicion and looked in the front yard. Her expression changed in an instant. She covered her mouth with her hand. Look over there at the fence. My heart started thumping as if I became prey once again and my pursuers were following me in the field. I could swear that I've heard something scratch at the door, just like in my nightmare. She beckoned me with her finger and I gathered all my remaining bravery to look into the kitchen window, facing my fear. I could barely discern. Hold on. Okay. I could barely discern some hairy silhouettes swimming in the snow, though the icy winter patterns on the glass. Dogs. Just a small pack of strays with no name and no owner, barely reminding me of the hungry monsters that live on the edge of the forest.
Oh boy, were you scared of them? I think they'd rather be scared of you, Anton.
They were chasing me like a bunny. And what if they're rabid? The smile slowly disappeared from Mom's face. Now she looked at the dogs as if it was her first time seeing them.
What if they attack Oya? Mom? I wish your dad could just shoot them all.
PETA! Mom, look, they're alive.
Huh? What? Are they your friend or foe after all? Make up your mind. You're not a little kid anymore.
Mom sighed in arrogance. In annoyance, and I felt so bitter that I bit my lower lip and fixed my gaze on the cobweb-ridden corner. Well, some detective I am. In reality, I wasn't risking my life among monsters, but rather my pants among a pack of stupid strays. And what for? What use do I have for this? Mitten. Of course. A darkened, sticky mitten that belonged to the lost boy made a squishy sound in my hand. Seems like I was clutching it the whole time. That's my jump card as a detective. Hell yeah. I hurried to present this clue to my mom. Mom, look, this is Vova's mitten. The boy the police were asking about in the morning. It's drenched in blood. I found it hanging on a tree. I can show where. Let's call the police right away, like the officer had told us to. Mom, look.
Ew!
A shadow of doubt slowly crept into Mom's contorted face, as if she was trying to remember something distant. Like someone tries to remember their dream, but the image slips away.
Stop at this moment.
Okay, this game's bugging me. Okay. If I just stay still, this should be perfect.
Oya will go insane if she hears you. She already has trouble sleeping and whines all the time. And you joke around like this?
At that moment, I realized the mitten was actually wet from snow. There was no blood whatsoever. I wanted to sink through the floor from embarrassment.
Come here, my boy who cried wolf. Oh, don't just stand there. Come take your pills.
The golden-colored pill, reminiscent of a dead wasp, fell onto my palm. I already took one during the breakfast.
Don't talk over me. I told you to stay home, and Dad would have given you a good whipping for that. Come on, take it, or you won't be able to sleep at night, and you have school tomorrow.
So I had to swallow the bitter medication, drinking it down with similarly awful water that gave off a taste of chlorine. Maybe it wasn't Vova's mitten. Maybe it wasn't a mitten after all, just like the forest monsters. And Oya's out. Am I going mad? What's happening to me? Either the pill had an immediate effect, or my overexerted brain didn't let fear inside anymore. Serenity washed over me, bringing yawning indifference along with it.
Anton, you done? See, you can do it when you try. Take off your coat. Are you asleep?
No, Mom. I was just thinking.
What about, I wonder?
It's just something silly. Mom scrutinized me with suspicious eyes, as if she wasn't sure she was looking at her own son and not some doppelganger that, came from the forest.
Is everything alright?
You had the exact same expression when the policeman asked you about the window. I'm alright, Mom. She heaved a deep sigh. Fine. It seemed like the house had changed. Sofa's fabric had become discolored. Fingerprints appeared on the bathroom tiles. The light bulbs also felt dimmer and yellower. Even the saliva in my mouth had a different taste. The melody from Aladdin could be heard from the upper floor. Oya was done rewatching her favorite Little Mermaid episodes and switched to the other. What's an Aladdin song? Prince Ali, fabulous he, Ali Ababa. That's it. That's the song. Let's just pretend that's what he's hearing. I slowly changed into my home clothes, stopped before the sink, and studied my reflection in the mirror, like I was trying to solve one of those spot the difference puzzles. I always hated those. Then I went upstairs. Jafar and Iago's voices died down. I walked past Oya's bedroom and slipped in my arm. Oh, god damn it. I have to search through a bunch of shit again. One of the doors wasn't. I got an achievement for probably forgetting the mitten. Simple action drained the last bit of strength from me. I sat on the bed. And only then I noticed there was something behind the curtains. God damn it, game. He took his medication. Why you gotta put more scary shit? My tired hand dropped to the sheets. Whether it was due to the medication I took or the stress I underwent, the room began to contort as if the wind was blowing the walls of a fresh pair of sails. The room's corners bent and undulated. The only stable thing in the whole room was the figure between the windowsill and the curtains. A flimsy piece of cloth was struck to my hidden visitor, just like a savant of sorts. Oya? Who else would be standing there? I stood up and licked my dried lips. Yeah, Oya, it's so funny. The silhouette was unmoving. It was enveloped softly by the curtains, as if there was a thick layer of darkness there, not a human being. I reached toward the curtains. Beating my heart, controlled by medication. The wind sang in the field with a chorus of voices. For a second I wanted to return to the bed, just lie down and watch the person behind the curtain, fully know while they were looking back at me. They were looking without blinking, waiting for me to fall asleep. This is kind of creepy. Plastic rings wrestled against the holder when I pulled open the curtains. Oh boy.
Gotcha.
I knew it was you from the beginning. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Oya's head. Wait, let me simulate that. Ah! Okay. Fuck. Wait. Gotta set the scene correctly again. Alright. A blindingly bright halo lit up above Oya's head with the setting sun as the background. My sister was shining. When she was just a baby, Dad always used to say she was shining with happiness. Aww.
Why do people happy?
I always retorted, but Dad, she's not some flashlight. But I brought her to the window one day and sunlight poured on her smiling face. I felt like I was holding a child woven from light.
I saw everything.
Oh, really?
What did you hide?
She was just like my mom when she was little. Before she put on her sad mask of tiredness, switched to your commanding tone of voice. It's nothing, just... We ran up to the table, her eyes around, and asked,
You stole something and hid it from there. Are you a thief?
What? Don't be stupid. I didn't steal anything. A clear image came to my head. That mitten hanging from a tree branch. What if I did steal it after all? From the forest, from the tilted figure standing behind black trees. Oya could be selfish and stubborn when she wanted.
Then show me.
Swear that you won't tell anyone? Then I'll show you. Oya wore a plotting smile.
I swear in Mom's heart.
Okay, dude. An oath she heard in one of the movies about pioneers we've watched. Don't say things like that. Oya nodded and made a gesture with her, unlocking her mouth with an imaginary key. Or like... That probably looked awkward. She was filled with curiosity that was splashing in her giant eyes. I opened the drawer and Oya leaned in, holding her breath. It looked like there was not just a simple mitten, but some sort of exotic critter.
Is this someone's mitten?
She said that as if she couldn't understand what she saw. A certain boy lost it, and got lost himself. Now do you understand how dangerous it is for kids to wander in the forest, right? Let me move this up a little too. Okay. Sorry for all the cam moving this stream. I've been a little OCD about it. Okay.
It must be really cold out there. Will they find him?
They will.
The police are going...
Wait, the police are going house to house, showing his photo to everybody. Oya traversed the room with care and pressed her tiny palms against the window.
Then why are you going house to house and not the forest? Are they scared?
The question caught me off guard. The police aren't scared of anything. Yeah, right, flashed in my clouded eye. Did they really check every nook and cranny where darkness, cold, whispered in the icy branches dwell? If that's the case, how did they miss the mitten? Or did it appear later? For me? I changed the topic, as if trying to get Oya as far away as possible from the forest thicket. We may get a reward if I go and find this boy by myself. A lot of stuff like in Field of Wonders. Sounds cool, right? Oya wasn't listening to me. She was piercing the forest with incredibly adult eyes, uncharacteristic for her.
What if the owl got him?
Nonsense. Now I won't be able to lift a human. But you know what? I was picking my words with utmost care. I forced them out of my overexerted brain. Stay away from the forest. I think it's, how should I put it? Cursed or something.
Just like in a fairy tale?
No, not like that. More like in that spooky tape Mom and Dad are hiding from us. Oya shivered and stole a glance at the window.
I saw you running away. Someone was chasing you?
No, it's just I was hurrying back home so Mom won't be worried. As I looked at my sister, my heart was tearing apart. She was so fragile. It was so easy to stifle her light. A gust of wind and her small fire would be gone.
You're lucky. Mom won't even let me go outside. I'm like a princess in the tower. Can't go anywhere. I'll die from boredom here.
You're wrong. Wrong. No one has ever died from boredom. And you have me and your cartoons, and Mom and Dad will be good to each other soon. Oh.
You know what I wish for on my next birthday? I wish for Mom and Dad to turn into children so we can go and play together like we used to.
Yeah, if you'd make them as small as bugs, we could place them into a little box. Lee giggled and tugged at my sleeve.
Tony, let's go watch Aladdin.
If it fatigue won over my desire to be with my little sister. I was washed over by some sort of heinous apathy. I'm too tired. I don't want to. Fuck you.
Come on, it's so boring alone, and mom's always busy. We can pick a cartoon you haven't seen before.
I know all of our tapes by heart at this point.
Yeah, all of them. You haven't watched Peter Pan. Remember how you fell asleep in the middle of it? So much happens after that. Let's go.
Maybe a bit later.
Should I tell you how it ends?
Let's leave that for tomorrow.
I won't tell you tomorrow. I know, let's play hide and seek.
No, Oya.
Then draw me a dino.
God, she's being such a fucking annoying bitch. Just take no for an answer, you future rapist. Oya, please.
Try it.
Will you leave me alone already? I blurted out without thinking. Then I was immediately taken back. I've never screamed at my little sister like that. Oya stared at me in shock. Her lips started trembling, a precursor to tears. My chest was seething with disgust and embarrassment. What's happening to me? I hurried to prevent Oya from crying. Alright, Yuan, let's go watch cartoons for a bit.
I don't wanna.
I came up to her, put my hand on her soft head. Let's go. Let's go watch Peter Pan.
Boo, you'll fall asleep again.
I smiled and lifted her chin. Her eyes were wet and felt bottomless. I promise I won't. And I'll draw you a full Triceratops later. Aha, manipulation. Starting to cry if you don't get your way. 5-head move.
Hooray!
See, she wasn't even sad. She was just baiting him.
Triceratops.
Well, close enough. Oya rubbed her eyes with a sleeve of her pajamas, and a shining smile returned to her face.
I'll go ask Mom for condensed milk and bread, and you rewind the tape.
The fuck?
Bread is fresh, just how you like it.
Who the fuck eats condensed milk? Like, straight up, isn't that for baking shit? Or like, weird pastries? Alright, just be careful not to spill the milk, or you'll be yelled at again. Oh no.
Wanna bet I won't spill it? The tape is somewhere in the nightstand. Look for it.
Okay, gotta admit, this has to be a little too loud. Oya disappeared into the doorway, and I dragged my feet into the neighboring room. The old photo TV was gathering dust in the corner. All that was left was clicking the button on the front panel. Spooky stuff. Incoming. The tube warmed up and familiar white noise started dancing on the lock screen. I almost reached out to turn on the VCR when the noise calmed down and a blurry image appeared for a moment. It's a dark taiga forest, just like the one outside my window. The picture split the screen in half. What? Something creepy resembling human speech was coming out of the speaker. Just a few moments later, the scenery was again overshadowed by noise. Okay then. Did it catch some rogue signal? Local TV station only really showed Soviet cartoons. Even that was pretty rare. And only just recently I used to always watch Robotech before school. It was so awesome. Maybe I should tinker with the antenna? What if I catch this channel again? On the other hand, Oya had asked me to find the tape. It wouldn't be nice to disappoint, but in my sleepy state, I didn't have the strength to do all of it. Which, what am I gonna do? I sifted through the shelves, full of dolls and blue hippos from Kinder Surprise. I found the tape I needed thanks to its shabby spine. I got the black rectangle from its box. Neverland. The tape inside it rustled while rewinding to the beginning. The rustle was lulling me to sleep. Drowsiness attacked me while I was squatting before the TV. Images whirled in my head, me and Oya flying above the forest, tumbling in the soft clouds. My little sister's laughing, but her smile becomes more and more forced with every passing sound. I notice that clouds underneath us part, barely bearing the bristly pine tops. Let me just check. Is this title even right? It's called Tiny Bunny? Yeah. Okay. My cat is trying to get in the room, but I locked it with a vacuum cleaner. Get fucked. Okay. Swampy darkness slurped among the trees. Wings are no longer. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
You haven't shared without me, have you?
My sister brought the tray with unevenly cut bread and a whole can of condensed milk. Ugh. Dance game. Hyper dance game. I rubbed my eyes. No, come sit.
Mom and Dad are arguing again.
They're going through rough times.
Rough time's your name.
On typo devs. Should be an O, not a P. On the screen, Wendy was hiding Peter Pan's shadow into the dresser. Oya was entertained by the cartoonish dog. Nana. Fuck. Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too? Oh.
Maybe Mom and Dad will buy us a dog too?
Yeah, right.
I want my own dog in the Neverland, and a cat, and a parrot.
Oya smeared a slice of bread with a thick layer of condensed milk and handed it to me.
Have you lost all of your baby teeth?
Obviously. Oya frowned, deep in thought.
Peter Pan has baby teeth. What if they won't let you go through this land with adult teeth?
We'll think of something.
Lost data, alter your age in the passport.
That's a 60 billion head. And why would Dad forge documents? Oya took a bite from the sandwich and started talking with her mouth full. Well, I heard Mom say he did that before. You'll grow ears as big as Dumbo's. Oya got worried and touched her ear. I smiled to myself. Also, why would she be eating something crunchy? I mean, that's all I had by me. Some fucking veggie chips. My little sister was silent now. She just devoured bread, watching the adventures of Peter Pan, Tinkerbell, and James Hook. As if she got sucked into the fairy tale Neverland. To be honest, I also imagined myself there, in a land where one never ages, where no one argues over little things, where no one listens to fights and the sound of broken plates at night. It felt like I was dreaming with my eyes still open. That's very good. Then my sister's scream pulled me back to reality.
Tony, shut the curtains fast.
Why? No one's watching you.
It's dark, and when Stark the Owl comes, I'm scared.
I got out of bed, fighting my drowsiness, and closed the curtains. I did my best not to look outside, toward the treetops, toward the taiga forest, which seemingly drew closer and closer. Of course, it was just a visual effect from shadows of branches scraping the snow.
Tony, Mom thinks I made the owls up, and Dad too. He thinks I'm a liar since I'm small. But the owls exist. Honestly, it does. You do believe me, right? It comes every night, and...
I swiftly grabbed Ola's hand and looked her in the eyes, trying to transfer at least some of my courage and determination. But did I really have those qualities? Yes, I believe you, alright? Just don't nag our parents about it anymore. They're already dealing with a lot, so they'll just get mad at you. Come and tell me if anything happens. Don't look out the window. But he wants me alone. Doesn't matter. Act like it doesn't exist and never existed, like it's made up, just like Mom and Dad say. They'll get tired of waiting. Fly away. It's that simple, dude. Jump scare. It was madness, but after everything that's happened recently, I was more and more inclined to believe Oya's owl existed. Spooky. Followed Peter Pan's adventures as if nothing had happened, as if the forest didn't kidnap kids, as if our parents weren't tearing each other apart bit by bit. Captain Hook was running away from a crocodile, and Captain Pan was headed to London on a gilded sailboat. By some miracle, I lasted longer than my sister. That sounds like some Alabama porn title. Oya's eyelids had dropped. She started snorting lightly, resting her chin on the side of the bed. I stood up and left out Oya's room. I was looking at the window, studying the field, when Mom peeked into my room. Enough playing around. It's your first day at school tomorrow.
Oh, get to bed. You should sleep properly. You don't want to be teased for being sleepy, right?
That's never happened to me. I don't think everything's so simple as if sound sleep would ensure my classmates would like me. Covered myself with a blanket. So later, I listened to the house humming. Something invisible rustling in the corners. My inner voice had a question for me. Do I want to hear that mysterious flute again? Yes or no? Maybe it's just a part of growing up. I can't fully understand my own desires. A force wailed behind the barrier that was my walls. Some ethereal entity wandered the fields. Branches shook as if calling for me. The wind howled on and on in the night. My thoughts were like annoying flies that entered my head before becoming weak and tangled. I didn't notice how I fell into slumber. And that's a wrap of that game. Well, damn. Is that it? Oh. What the fuck? Shit's... No, I don't want to go to Tumblr. Yeah, no thanks. Oh, okay, so this is all the social stuff. Cool. Okay, I feel like there could have been more scary stuff in it. I mean, not necessarily cheap jump scares. That one fucking jump scare, god damn. It was just like not expected and scared or actually I don't know. I'll have to rewatch the clip. But yeah, I'll definitely upload this to YouTube, especially since no one fucking watched. Because I do believe this game deserves more. It definitely deserves more downloads and shit. I think it's pretty good. I mean, towards the end, it got a little less interesting. Like I was just like, okay, let's get to the more spooky stuff, and then it just kind of never happened. It ended. So that's my only complaint. But the music was really cool. I love the aesthetic. Some of the parts were genuinely pretty scary. The whole thing with the pills, though, I feel like that didn't really go anywhere. It might in the next episode, but overall, pretty decent game. I like it.
Next game.